Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication.
Hello folks, this is Mercy TV. Another COVID week. Hope you're going to be safe, wearing your mask, using your own instrument of smoking, or ever the way that you use cannabis.
A lot of people don't smoke.
Very true. And you can make a tincture or a butter or some healing oil like I had made.
Or topicals. Or even vaporizing.
There's many different ways to introduce the cannabis molecules, and there's a lot of different molecules in the cannabis plant and the hemp plant also. So depending on what variety of cannabis you get, and if you're getting it from a clone or if you're getting it from a seed.
Well, that's it, you know. Are you growing it? Are you doing it? Are you going to the dispensary? Or, you know, there's a lot of things, and your condition, you know, and how far along is your condition, and what are you doing with the medicines the doctor is giving you, and how are you reporting with your, you know, we've talked...
Being honest with your doctor.
You know, we've talked before, you know, that's kind of what, you know, we wanted to talk about today's show and say, you know, that's where we're at, you know, because it's important. You know, we've let everybody know how important it is about your relationship with your doctor, and because the medicines he gives you and the cannabis works good. You know, the cannabis you'll find is good with your body, and that's what you'll know, and you'll feel good, and the energy it gives you and how your body feels, and pretty soon the doctor will say, how come it's working so good and everything's good, and you want that to be good. And the doctor will say your blood tests are good, and you'll tell him, you know, because the cannabis, I'm using cannabis, you know, I'm eating it, I'm drinking it, you know, and there's all these things, you know, and that's what you want to do. You want the doctor to know.
Very true. People in the hospital, talk to your doctor about cannabis. You don't have to smoke it to get the benefits. Edibles.
Well, that's a lot, you know, when you find out that you can do this, and you know that, wow, I can, and it's just not the doctors, it's the patients and the doctors and the healthcare workers that are in there and the workers in the hospital. You know, it's everybody working together, you know, we was doing all this before the pandemic, you know, and now there's a pandemic and we're having to do it. And, you know, we are doing it, you know, be practicing what we was already doing. And you guys, remember, the cannabis is good for you. And don't be mean to each other. You know, the cannabis is good. And
respectful.
The strains. And be respectful, yes. And know that the education, and be education and speak and tell your doctors the strains you're using, because the you know, condition you have and the strains you use, he knows that you can use this kind of strain for that condition. You know, very important. That's how they learn too. That's important for them. And then they learn with the medicines they're using, wow, this is the kind of medicine I can use with the kind of condition you have. And that's important, because their blood tests will let them and allow them to know, I can use that many milligrams. And, you know, that's how they learn. And that's where we get to see, you know, the cannabis is good, because the CBDs and all of these things that we have in our bodies will, it's a neurological thing. And we'll find out it's good for our bodies because all of these work with our vital organs. And our vital organs will do so good. And when you find that your vital organs, and we get so much energy, and we feel so good, you'll find out, wow, that's good for us. And wow, it's good for us, and you feel so much better, and wow, and I've just been eating some cookies, or I've been using some oils, or some of the tinctures like Pete was talking about, that is good. Or you need to have somebody help you or learn, you can do the websites, you can talk to people, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do is talk to others or learn or educate. That's where you find out that cannabis is good. These are the things that we was talking about earlier, because cannabis is good. But just the whole world might be you might be part of it. But we got to teach, and
Educate.
It's about education. We know that we got 4 new states, and wow, thank you. And the doctors are doing it, and the patients are getting the benefits of it, and all the workers that are out there doing it, the workers are doing it, and the workers, there's a whole lot of workers in there. It's the workers dealing with the patients, and the workers helping the doctors. There's a lot of workers. Thank you to all those workers. Nobody's saying thank you. Well, thank you, workers. There's a lot of workers.
Well, thank you for the nurses and the doctors that are helping us to survive.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. It's important to be education, knowing that, hey, I only eat a quarter of a cookie, not the whole cookie at the sitting, because it may be too much for your body to handle. But you're not going to die from it. You're going to get more benefits from that. But there's a place and a time to do everything.
But I can tell you, I slept really good. And
I ate.
And I ate really good. Yeah, for the next few days I ate really good. But then I went back to being really nauseous. See, these are the things that education is about. And how do I know all that? Because I've dealt with things like that. And, like paralyzed patients, paralyzed patients can tell you things like that. And when paralyzed patients get together and they have meetings and they talk about eating and talk about things like eating and being
quality of life
and a quality of life, they'll talk about things such as that because that's their world. That's what they deal with every day. People like us, we don't deal with that only once in a while. They deal with it every day. See, there's a difference. We take stuff like that for granted. They don't. They deal with it every day. See, cannabis allows you to eat and gives you very good, allows you to eat. And that's what we want, everybody to be able to eat freely. And that's what it'll do. Whether you got to eat it, smoke it, rub it on, cannabis will do that for you,
And you can use one of these methods or you can use all these methods, depending on how your body's feeling. What do you have to do? I have carpal tunnel. I have to rub it on my wrists, rub it on my arms, rub it on my knees and calves and thighs. And I feel relief. It's not instantaneously, but you do feel the relief because the pain subsides.
Well, and as you get older and as your condition changes, you'll find out some things change. and your body changes and your condition change. And as you get the CBDs in your body, and your body takes those in neurologically with your body, and they work with your organs, and they work with your blood, and it all works together neurologically, and how it works, because I'm really not a doctor. I just know it all works together, and when it does, it gets better, and it does good. And maybe you can talk to your doctor about it and how it works for you and your condition. And see, these are the things that make it better. And when you have cannabis and at least get educated about it, you'll see that it does better for you or maybe somebody you know. And that's what's important, because not knowing and having false information is not good. When you find out that this kind of information and you get this kind of medicine and it don't have no side effects and it's good for you, it's a good thing. And you can use it and everybody knows, wow, that medicine was good and it was no side effects and I didn't get sick and I actually had really good energy and I actually really wanted to eat and I really had, no side effects forever. And all I did was wanted to eat and I gained weight. And these are the things that patients are looking for. And how many people are out there looking for those kind of things? A lot. Those are the things that as a patient you look for in a medicine, and patients look for those kind of things. And and if you can grow your own medicine in your house or outside your house, that's even better, whether it's in your house or outside your house.
Because this way you're knowing what you fed the plant, how you watered the plant, how the plant develops and the beautiful flowers that we're going to harvest. I mean, it's a unique thing to have a little garden and grow your own cannabis and have a stash where you don't have to go to the dispensary or down to the corner to get a little brown bag full of seeds. But if you were smart, you use those seeds and you grow your own.
But at least don't allow others to tell you bad information. And remember to vote. And voting is so important. And these are the things like what we've just went through in this voting cycle. And those are back to people need to remember that it's going to be a while for that next cycle comes around, but still keep all those things on your mind and keep talking about that,
And write a testimonial to your legislators, to the governor, to the president, to the Senate. No, but they need to hear your voice in one form or the other. It's a marvelous thing with the computer and with the smartphone and how we can get in touch with people. And it's your responsibility as well as mine to give you the word out. Peace and love.
Well, and that's what we're trying to do with this show, is allow people to see that cannabis is good medicine, and that, don't let them see that cannabis is not good medicine, because there is so many people getting a hold out there with the medicine and trying to say that it's not. We know that the medicine is good, and we're trying to show people that there's so many conditions that the medicine is helping. If you know there's another condition that you can say, oh yeah, the medicine is helping me, please get a hold of, we got this website back here. Get a hold of Perry on the website. Let him know that, we can get a hold, we can get you guys will know, hey, we might even be able to, the senators and the legislators that we get a hold of, and that's how we start. And you know, we've been doing this for quite a few years, and that's how we do it. And everybody wants to make sure that the conditions that we have, you know, that's how we do it.
A
Together.
long time ago, Nurse Ed did a campaign on PTSD, PTSD, and it had to all the way go to the Congress to get that put in as a condition for the medical card. And if you have the medical card, please reissue it. We need to keep the patients going, at least this program going, so we can have our 6 plants.
Well, it's important. A lot of people know that they can go to dispensary and buy their medicines and all that, but patients out there are very important, because we as patients need to let our doctors know that, you know, the cannabis is good for our conditions, and that we are still in this program because, you know, the medicine is good for our conditions. And that's what's important, that there are a lot of patients out there, and we're trying to keep all of the conditions. And, you know, if there might be more conditions happening that we haven't seen yet, or that nobody's talked about yet. And, you know, that's what the Mercy Center is about. And if you know somebody that needs some help, get a hold of us. You know, as soon as CCTV opens back up, we'll be having that live show, and you can make the live calls. And, you know, these are the things we're trying to do. Just get a hold of us anytime. You can get a hold of us on the website there. And that's what we're trying to do, you know, because patients are looking for help. And we know this because we're patients, you know, and that's what we do, is try and help each other, because patients need help. And that's all we want to do, is help each other, because cannabis helps everyone. And that's what cannabis does, is help you. And we know that. And it'll grow. And, you know, if we get it planted, it'll help the earth.
Yes.
And we know that. And it does amazing things. It helps oxygen. It helps the dirt. It helps the water. It helps everything. Thank you, Lord. You know, we are so blessed for the plant, you know. We know. But it does everything, and we got so many people trying to do so much with the plant, you know.
But it's ridiculous, the propaganda the government's been feeding us since 1937, where they outlawed the cannabis research and the hemp plant. I mean, it was a shame. Look at the forests we could have saved if we were using the hemp plant instead. And the vehicles and the insurance reduction, because you can't destroy a hemp panels. And you could even see old Henry Ford beating the side of his car, and there was no damage. You imagine that? The insurance people would only be working on your house.
So I guess what he's trying to say is, you know, the medicine is good. We're trying to let everybody know. Please educate others and know that the medicine will help you, and get a hold of us. And, you know, if you know something that we haven't talked about, let us know. And we know that there's different ways that we haven't talked about. You know, you can topically use it. You can drink it. You know, Pete does oils on the website. He got a lot of different ways to do the oils. And
well, there's only one way, and this is following the moon cycle. And you would take your cannabis, and then you would add, I use extra virgin olive oil, but whatever oil is handy, as long as it's not rancid. You put it in a container that you could put a lid on it. You fill about an inch above the cannabis when you initially do. You stir it, you swirl the bucket around so you're getting the bottom up to the top while you're stirring it. And this takes 28 days to get the full results. Then once you get it, you take the mash and put it in a colander. You let it seep through the colander into a pan. You could press the mash, but you let gravity flow. If you really need a strong, you would squeeze the mash because that's the highly concentrated stuff. 28 days that you do this. You keep you in a cool, dark place. And you do it several times a day. You could even use a drill with a paint stirrer on it. And that really gives it a good...
Whips it up?
Yeah. And I run it through the colander and then through a tea strainer. And I need to run it through one more finer strainer. Or let it sit in a coffee filter to get the fine particles picked up. But I carry a little container. The other day my wrist was really aching because I'm working playing with buckets of leaves. And these are oak leaves, unfortunately. And I had to rub the healing oil. And it just took a few minutes in my break before I felt the sensation of the pain's gone. God, that's amazing. And it's very easy.
And these aren't narcotics. These are just oil from the plant. And this is what we're trying to let everybody know. It's not narcotics, it's the plant. And when you can grow the plant and use the plant and rub it on, that's what you want, because your body is taking it and using it and doing with it what it needs.
I believe the pharmaceutical companies plus the oil and the timber industry who have, and the liquor people. And I can't understand how the liquor people are controlling the regulation of marijuana. We've always been on either side of the street. But if we need to get it, be registered, get in touch with our senators and legislational people, write a testimonial how cannabis is, or even your own opinion of life.
It's important.
Yes.
If the medicine helps, it definitely is important. You got to let the doctor know that the medicine is helping you, so he can work with the medicine that he's given you, because the amount of the medicine he's using can work with the medicine you're using. Because like Pete was just talking about, if he can lower that medicine and lower the medicine he's giving you, he can give it down to where he ain't even giving you no more medicine. And that would be good, because your liver and kidneys and all that will get better because the medicine that he's giving you, sometime if you see one of our TV shows, you'll hear that modern medication song. That modern medication, that's, all that stuff. And you'll see that it's not so good for your liver and kidneys.
There's no real side effects of cannabis. You listen to these over-the-counter medicine that they sell over the television, and the last few seconds of it, and it may cause this or death.
In other words, get your lawyer.
Yeah. So no, be smart. Use cannabis wisely. Get in touch with the legislature. Stay. Thank you. Important mail from the government. So please register, vote. Talk to your children, talk to your doctors, talk to your nurses. Please, people in the hospital, feel better, get better. And happy holidays to you all.
And remember, stay safe.
So we just got a few more minutes left of the program. Your participation in the government is important.
Thank you to all the CCTV and all their people that make it possible to do this show. And you know, we are so thankful. Believe me, it has been a long-running show, and just because I am so blessed for all the people that make it happen, because there are so many patients in this state and other states and all over the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Be safe. Be considerate to your neighbors. Thank you for Dr. Lebec, Mike, Shauna, Grandma Janice,
Sam.
George, and even you, my friends. It all depends on you.
Yes.
Peace and victory. And if you're not doing anything fun, go fly a kite in the field on a windy day.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. And happy holidays.
Be
and
safe.
Many more to you.
Yes.
Take care, my friends.
All be safe.
You want to say anything before I turn it off, Glenn?
Yes, good night.
Good night. God bless you all, every single one of you.